Welcome everybody to another episode of Locked In Golden State Warriors podcast. I'm Brandon Franio. Joined by me is my co-host Jordan Medeiros, and we have some special guests on tonight's episode: Bashar from 49er Minded and
What's
our
up?
buddy Corey. How we doing, fellas?
Pretty damn good.
All right. Nail biter
Yes,
for
sir.
sure.
Doing well, doing well.
Yes, sir. Nail biter for sure. Yeah. You ain't lying about that one, man. Um, so let's go ahead and start. What are your guys' thoughts on tonight's game? What did the Warriors do different compared to Game 5 to actually score some points and play some defense? Bashar, let's go with you first.
Well, one thing that they kept doing the same of was turn the damn ball over. I was freaking out all throughout the game, and
Yep.
But in terms of what they did differently, Looney, who I've criticized a whole lot throughout the years, but this year he's obviously having his best season, and for him, how many boards did he rack up? Was it 20
It
or
was 22.
22? Yeah, I was thinking 19 at first, but then 22 popped in my head. That's amazing. That's awesome for him to step up in the game,
Mhm.
especially in a grinded out game, in a grinded out team. Memphis is a pretty damn tough team, and they're a damn good defensive team. Even when Ja is out of the lineup, they play excellent defense. So
Mhm.
that's kind of a funny yin and yang for them. That they don't know. I'm not sure how they're going to play it off next season. But I'm so glad that we're bouncing. I'm so happy for Clay, and it's just a great game to watch.
Yes, sir. Corey?
Tonight was a game of trying to make sure the mistakes from prior games didn't happen again. And unfortunately, the turnovers were a huge part of that first half. I believe if the turnovers, instead of being, 12 in the first half, get dropped to, say, 5 or 6, they're winning by 15 or 20 at halftime, and I don't think this is much of a ball game going forward. They have 12 in the first half. I believe, to my calculation, I think it was 5 in the third quarter. It's too many. They had, I think, 14 in the first half of each of the previous 2 games. That's not going to get it done.
Yep.
Fourth quarter, I did see Looney with a turnover late. I think that was the only turnover that I could count. I'm not quite sure what the total was yet. I haven't looked at the final numbers, but the fourth quarter was essentially a microcosm of what this team during the 5-year run of making the NBA Finals was about. Ball movement, open shots, lockdown defense, and bury your opponent late, or in this case, late. That was a clinic in the fourth quarter. Memphis had no answer. Every single time Memphis was down 6 or 8 points, the announcers mentioned this earlier, they would come back and they throw a 10-0, 13-0 run.
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
That fourth quarter was not going to happen. Warriors said, okay, enough is enough. You guys licked the floor with us in Game 5. We're not going to allow you to even come back. Curry struggled there in the middle of that game. That fourth quarter, still missed a couple shots, but the ball movement was great. You did mention Kevon Looney's 22 rebounds, 70 rebounds collectively, 25 on the offensive side of the ball. Warriors play like that, no one's going to beat them, period.
Totally agree. What's your take, Jordan?
So, I tweeted out, about the turnovers. Unfortunately, this team is a team. So, I think, unfortunately, we just got to accept it. But other than that, piggybacking, Kevon Looney was MVP today with all his rebounds. Clay, Game 6 Clay came back.
My boy Kev, what's up, my guy?
Silverado Kev.
What's up, Silver?
Babe.
Where was I? Yeah, Steph finally came through in the last 5 minutes to put the game away. Pretty much Corey said everything, so there's not much else to say.
Yeah. I was going to say this really quick, though. Really, really quick. I put up that background especially for my old school Warrior fans out there. So I got, when I first became a fan, the one with the golden basketball in the state of California popping out with the star. Well, I used to be a volunteer at the Run TMC games, and that was the logo back then. Then a little later, during all the suck years, when we had that major playoff drought, we had that one little Thunder mascot. So just throwing it out there for all the people who've been, especially the old school guys who, when we were terrible, we sucked, and we finally started winning championships. And who knows, man, we might do something this year. Let's see.
I really think so.
By the way, Brandon, hold on. By the way, Brandon,
yeah,
I do like the intro.
Yeah.
The only thing
Did you guys hear the music?
I didn't hear any music. I heard
music.
nothing.
No,
I heard
that's
nothing.
weird.
It said the
it
mic
played on my end.
Oh,
yeah.
I was gonna say I like the intro, but since we don't play Memphis anymore,
I know. Well,
you don't know who we're playing yet, though. We have to wait until and then he can throw something in there for either Dallas or Phoenix.
Yeah. So another thing I wanted to add to was they changed the way they started in the lineup. They put Kevon Looney in there instead of going small. Do you guys think that 100% helped them pull off this victory tonight? Bashar, let's go with you first.
One thing that honestly I really liked to start off the game, and it was like a breath of fresh air for me, and it gave me a good feeling about the game in general. And yes, we did go bigger with Looney, but at the end of the day, Draymond's still a small ball power forward, and he was using that to his advantage. He was, he was cherry picking. He was basically helping us dictate the pace of the game. And if we're a small ball lineup, we should have more people leaking out. It kills me when I watch some of these games, and we got our small ball out there, and then we're going back and forth playing, 1990 basketball where it's like slow. They're backing it down, and we're playing their type of basketball. No, we got to play our game. So hey, Draymond established that pace, and it was nice to see, man. I liked it.
Yes, sir. Corey?
Just to piggyback off of what Bashar said, Draymond was a monster tonight. I think he was maybe 2 or 3 assists away from a triple-double. He came in with just amazing force and just everything that you want in a leader. I think it was the right play because it in playoff series when you have best of 5 or best of 7, it's all best of 7 now. It's a chess match. So Memphis made their move in Game 5. Okay, you guys want to go big and try to pound this in? All right, we'll put our big guy in. And fortunately, he didn't get into the foul trouble. That was the one concern I had before the game started. There was some ticky-tackness there early, but it was a clinic, like I mentioned earlier. It was a clinic in that fourth quarter. That was Warriors basketball of what we had missed for the last two seasons with injuries and just Clay being out and everything. The 5 years of making the NBA Finals, that is what that brand of basketball was. For anyone who had maybe just jumped in, during this season, that is Warriors basketball. They just want to ram it down your throat, and it's a blitzkrieg that no one really wants to get in front of because you're going to get run. You're just going to keep getting run over.
Yeah, Jordan, you want to top it off from there?
So starting Kuminga, I didn't mind it. But, it was his first kind of playoff. So starting Looney was probably the smart move, especially how he played tonight. I think he probably should start for the rest of the playoffs. But, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Kev asked, who would we rather see the Warriors play, Mavs or Suns? Jordan, let's start with you first.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. To me, it doesn't matter. Warriors just need to play their style of basketball, and I think they can beat anybody as long as they don't turn the ball over. But of course, that's not gonna happen. So.
Yeah. Corey?
The matchup that I think everyone wants to see is Phoenix. Mm-hmm. The matchup that gives us the best chance to get through with less intangibles would be Dallas. The thing that you have to understand with Phoenix is they are a very experienced team. They were in the finals last year, losing to Milwaukee, who could get there again this year. The one thing, though, with Phoenix is they don't shoot a lot of threes. So if we get into a series with them and we can run the score up a little bit, they're going to have a hard time getting back because they take probably fewer than any other team in even just 3-point attempts. So the answer, easier road, would be Dallas. The more intriguing and matchup that the American and NBA fans want to see would be Phoenix.
Yeah. Bashar?
Honestly, I don't really have a big time preference, but I kind of do have a little bit of a preference though, because as a 49er fan who I kind of go back and forth within a friendly type of way. Had him on my show before. His name's Ron E9er on Twitter. Shout out to you, bro. I don't know if you're watching, but he's always trying to bring up the Suns. Oh, the Warriors, Suns are going to beat the Warriors in the next round, and blah, 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 blah. He's been saying this since the playoffs started, but so I'm kind of eager to see that matchup and not have us come out top. What's up, Horace? He's a Laker fan, but I know who that is. His congrats. Thank you. Love and appreciate it.
Yes, sir. For me personally, I'm gonna go with the Suns just because throughout the season, the Warriors have had a really great battle against the Suns. So to have it in the playoffs, I think that would be a great series to watch, and it could go down to Game 7 as well. So that's my take on it. But just real quick, guys, if you guys haven't yet already, please go over to Locked In GSW Podcast on our YouTube channel. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't yet already. And if you guys are on Twitter, go over to our YouTube channel because we cannot see your chat at all. So once again, Locked In GSW Podcast or Bashar's page, 49er Minded.
Yeet.
Klay Thompson. Let's talk about Game 6 Klay. I think everybody in this chat, in this group, freaking called it, right? Before this game even started. That Klay was going to have a game.
He had to.
Yeah, especially with Steph not doing so well throughout the game. Corey, let's start with you. What was your take on Klay coming into the game, and did he meet your
expectations?
Yeah.
That.
I was like, I couldn't think of the damn word.
We're still all on an emotional high right now. I'll give you a free pass for this one.
People are actually high. How about that?
He came out red hot. I still think he's lost a little bit of a step on the defensive side of the ball, but Klay still has that mentality of seeing one shot go in or maybe two shots go in. It's fire away. He almost kind of had that 37-point quarter mentality there. I think it was late first half or whatever it was. He was just firing away. Steph wasn't shooting well, and he kind of carried us for a while. The one thing no one has mentioned yet is they did this without Otto Porter. Otto Porter should be back going forward. I think he will. I can't remember what the status with Iguodala is, if he's going to be back for any part of this playoff run at all. It's just adding depth and being able to plug and play almost.
Yeah.
But Klay and Steph, Jordan Poole came up big on occasion. Wiggins came up huge in that fourth quarter. And, we mentioned Kevon Looney, who just pulling rebound after rebound after rebound. 25 offensive rebounds. You're never going to beat a team who just has second, third chance points seemingly almost every possession. So to exceed my expectations, I think it was a typical Klay playoff performance pre-injury. Game 6, we all go back to that OKC series where they're down 3-1. They win Game 5. He comes up clutch in the fourth quarter there, buries them, and Game 7 was a wrap. Klay is just clutch Klay. I mean, maybe we'll just put a little hashtag clutch Klay or
cherry on top
or something.
Do it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silverado Kev says our shooting woes won't last. If we cut down these damn turnovers, we can't be beat. I agree. I totally agree. I mean, that's our main problem right now is the turnovers. This game would have been literally blown. Like, we would have blown Memphis out of the water if it wasn't for the turnovers.
I mentioned that earlier. You cut turnovers down to maybe 8 to 10 a game. Forget it, because the shooting And that was the other thing I was going to mention with the question: would you prefer Dallas or Phoenix? Phoenix has the playmakers. When you're gonna, if you end up facing Dallas, it's one guy and then a few role players who could get hot here or there. Dallas. I mean, it probably won't happen this way, but I could see us beating Dallas in 5. Realistically, it probably goes 6. Phoenix is definitely 6, if not 7.
Mm-hmm.
And for the records, the Warriors turned the ball over 17 times a game. Today they pulled a Chris Mullin. But hey, 10 blocks for the Warriors. Remember the last game when I don't know if they had 12 blocks. The Grizzlies were in double flickers and blocks the last game, so we kind of reversed.
I didn't even watch the last game.
Yeah, we kind of reversed the roles with we outblocked them this time, and we definitely got to clean up that turnover thing. We're probably going to keep repeating that until we actually see it with our own eyes.
I believe that Game 5 was the only game that Memphis actually out-rebounded us, too.
Yeah, it was.
And then, obviously, tonight, 70 rebounds. Who does that? 70 rebounds.
They're so much bigger and bulkier than us, too. And I watched while I was watching the game.
70 rebounds playing small ball.
Yeah,
we're scrappy. We play small ball, but we're scrappy.
And
gritty.
Happy Warriors. And gritty.
Most of those rebounds came from Looney and Draymond.
Looney and Draymond were killing the Bulls.
Hey, Draymond.
And Wiggins. Wiggins
had 11.
Played,
he had a good game.
Wiggins has played the best defense, and his shooting has been on point like it has been in the beginning of the season, in this series especially. That's my all-star right there, man.
Two-way Wiggs.
Oh, so you believe in Wiggins? I like that. I was gonna say about Clay. I remember when I had Cyrus on my show and I was asking him like how much of the current Clay we have right now is similar to the NBA Finals winning Clay, and he said, I think he was trying to say it was about Clay's offensively in terms of his shooting. Right now, he thinks it's equal. Sometimes he thinks some nights it may be even better, and we definitely saw that tonight with Clay. He did say that Clay had slowed down a bit defensively. I'll give him a pass on that. He doesn't look terrible on defense. Every once in a blue moon, somebody will go by him. But I'm just so happy for Clay. I'm going to keep saying it over and over again. We missed him for 2 years. We're all worried. Is he ever going to come back? What's he going to be like when he comes back? And he's not disappointed, man. And I just think he has that strong connection with the fans. I feel like Clay is a fan playing for our team. That's how I feel about Clay.
Yeah.
I miss GP too.
Me too.
Oh, I don't remember.
I love seeing him. He
might be back if we progress.
Right.
Oh no! Comment. What did you see that comment in the chat? Oh my gosh! Really?
Which one?
He scored 29.6. Didn't Curry? Yeah, he almost had
Curry. Yeah.
He said, Curry's washed up.
Curry made baskets where we needed it the most, and that was towards the end of the game.
You know who should be benched for the whole playoffs is Lee.
You
Damian Lee.
And this issue with Lee, Jordan. I see you tweeting all the freaking time. I'm like, D Lee is not that bad of a freaking player, okay?
He can D people up. He's just he can kind of hit threes every now and then, but just offensively in general, he's not going to get you points, but
yeah. Yep. So, also too is Clay had 3 blocks, and one of them came in the closing moments of the game as well too. That was a great play by Clay. So his defense is getting there again, which I'm really happy about. And then let's talk about Wiggins, guys.
Oh yeah, he played great.
Let's talk about Wiggins. Corey, what were your expectations from Wiggs, and did he meet them, or did he go over your expectations?
I think Wiggins is an interesting player because where he made some very crucial defensive plays, some clutch shots, too many shots and a little sloppy with the ball. He was certainly responsible for a handful of those turnovers tonight. Draymond needs to cut that stuff down. I mean, it's gotten just to the point of borderline ridiculous. He's trying to throw a backdoor pass a second or two earlier than he has to, And Memphis did do a very good job. I think Mike Brown did mention this in the in between quarter interview. The back door they shut down. They weren't going to allow that back door. But when you can get them into transition, it's a little bit of a different story. But going back to Andrew Wiggins, clutch defender, made some clutch shots, but I don't like the volume that he was shooting them at. If you look at the shooting percentage and just the efficiency, it was a little under what I was hoping for. But it's a team game. It's not just one guy, so other players backed him up. Clay carried the load there for a while. And Curry hit the few clutch threes that we needed at the end to seal it.
So Joey said Clay's IG story right now. Go. I'm gonna have to check that out right now. But
yeah, stream it.
Yeah. Just real quick.
It's not a video.
SG wanted to get his question answered. Thoughts on Luca Dauntage? If we have to play him, what do you guys think?
He's really good. I mean,
how are they gonna how are the Warriors going to defend him this series? Because we really don't have a big besides Looney, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
unless you put Belly in there.
I mean, would you want Draymond to guard him?
I put Wiggins on him.
You rather put Wiggins?
Yeah.
Wiggins? Corey?
I actually agree. I think it's a Draymond thing. I think Draymond has the physicality. I'm trying to remember the height of Luca's. He's 6'8", 6'9", so he's bigger. He's a little stronger. The thing with Luca is he's just a straight bully. He's gonna just try to get in there and just try to draw every foul. He whines and complains a little too much. He's a fantastic player, but again, going up against Dallas, it's try to contain Luca to the best of your ability, but just make sure that the role players are disrupted enough where they're not getting quality shots.
Yeah, I remember they played us at one point this year, and it was just like, Luca's throwing the ball out to these nobody guys. At least to me, they're nobodies, and they're just drilling all these shots. And just like Corey said, we can't let them do that.
True, but
yeah,
what's his name? Bronson or something on the Dallas kind of.
Yeah,
and been playing pretty well.
And we have one of the best defensive teams in the league. You can put Wiggins on him. You can put Clay on him. The role players are going to have to play on their heads for them to beat us in a 7-game series. Luca's not going to be able to carry that team throughout against a team like this who can just kill you on perimeter shooting, perimeter defense, beat you in transition. The Warriors are going to go as far as the turnovers. I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that's really what this is coming down to. Memphis, I think, is a very, very good team, but I think they're still a year or two away, a few more pieces away from making a legitimate run. It's New Orleans next year if they can add a shooting guard that is going to be the scary team that I'm not going to want anything to do with.
I agree.
But
I agree.
With Luca and the Mavericks, you're going to essentially let Luca do his thing. You're going to try to contain him and disrupt him. It's containing the role players and just saying, you want to give it to Luca, we'll bang him and bruise, we'll use up some fouls or whatever, get him frustrated. Luca's not going to be able to carry that team and beat this team 4 out of 7 times. But they still have to get through get through Phoenix on Sunday for that to happen.
And for the record, Luca's 6'7". I thought he was a bit taller, actually. He just looks bigger when he's on the floor.
Yeah.
I just want Draymond can match that physicality all day long.
Oh yeah, easy. I mean, look what he did with the Joker.
And the Joker was frustrated, man.
He sure was.
Yeah, he was.
He was definitely
frustrated. But I don't see much of a series in that. I really don't. Although I didn't see much of a series in this semifinal, and Memphis did surprise me. I'm just glad we don't have to see Dylan Brooks anymore. Dirty,
and John Morant.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This was a tough test, man. This might be the toughest test we have in the entire playoff run. I mean that
probably.
I'm not gonna say it is, but
if they get to the finals, it's gonna be a battle.
So
because the East,
especially
West,
Boston,
Milwaukee, and Miami.
Boston's going to have their hands full on Sunday with Giannis. That was I was on the golf course today, so I missed it. But
So I watched a little bit of it, and I do have to say, Giannis was literally carrying the ball a lot this game, and they didn't call any travel at all against him. So that's one thing to keep an eye out to in the next game as well.
superstar.
But I mean,
lot
look
of
at this
players-
series.
A lot of
Look
players
at
do
this
carry,
series,
though.
right? Like Jaw freaking travels also, right? And so is Jordan
Everybody
Poole. So,
travels, to be honest.
but let me this is historic. I love Jordan Poole for this, especially with the shit he was doing during the timeouts with Memphis players. So let's just pull it out real quick and make fun of John Morant. I love it.
He's crazy. Where's John at? Where's John? Where's John? Where's
He's in the
John
locker
Morant's
room
dad?
crying
Where's John
already.
Morant's dad, dude? John Morant's dad
Right?
looks hilarious, man.
It
That's
looks
funny.
like Usher.
He does.
Yeah, people said Usher. I thought he looked like a kind of like a wannabe Master P or something. I don't know.
But I thought that was perfect. But what was I gonna tell you guys? I forgot what I was gonna tell you. Anyways,
Let's put him at Clay or Poole or something.
Jordan.
Poole.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Jordan Poole. I mean, he started off hot, right? Especially in game 1. Then game 2, game 3, like started becoming quiet. You think it's because Memphis changed their game plan with Jordan Poole, or it's Jordan Poole just kind of fell off the shelf a little bit?
I think it's a mental thing for Jordan Poole, if you ask me. I mean, this is his first playoff run. So, I mean, if there's anything about Jordan Poole that I want to see more of, because I didn't really think that, I never thought to myself this was ever a part of his game. But now that I see him in the playoffs doing this stuff and surprising me, basically exceeding my expectations, is he's got this nice fucking, excuse my language, but this nice reverse that he does it in the basket. I'm not going to compare him to Jordan. I know his first name is Jordan, but we got a Jordan in here too. But he has this nice up and under move that he does, and he did it today. He got fouled, but it didn't go in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to do that move all the time. What I'm trying to say is attack the basket a little more often, and that will get him going a whole lot more. I mean, I love the fact that we're this amazing 3-point shooting team, but especially that 50-point blowout, we were just shooting up so many damn 3-pointers, and we could have probably made it closer had we just gone for twos.
Yep. I always say that. Attack.
Yep. Corey, your take?
I think Jordan Poole is just one of those hot and cold types of players. He didn't have that outside shot today. He really didn't have that outside shot since game 1 or 2. But the particular play that Bashar was mentioning was a thing of beauty. If he uses a little bit of left English off the backboard, I think that goes in, and it's an and one.
It was close.
But it was a very nice play. Bain had one on the other side a few plays earlier, I think. That was a really nice move. The way I see it, the Warriors are deeper than any team in the association. If they execute and they keep the turnovers down, they're going to be in every single game, and it's just a matter of how many shots they're making to how many shots they, it's capitalizing on turnovers, second chance, third chance points, which they obviously had a ton of today. But as I mentioned earlier, Memphis just ran into a blitzkrieg they wanted nothing to do with late in that fourth quarter, and it was just too much to overcome. But Jordan Poole going forward, they're going to need him.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Brother, and I keep telling people, I said I would love to see one game, where the three of them, Steph, Clay, and Jordan Poole, go off for 90 combined. I'd love to see a 90-point.
It'll happen.
With these three, because they had, I think it was in the last series with Denver. I think they had one game with 84 and one game I think with 80. And I think the next game was somewhere in the 70s. They're capable of it, but just the shot selection today, just overall, was a little goofy. They're jacking up threes. I think Jordan was mentioning that earlier. Shot selection, especially against a team like Phoenix, who has very good defense. You're not going to be able to get away with what you were able to get away with against Memphis if you do end up playing Phoenix. in the next round.
Yes, I totally agree.
What I was gonna say is, for you guys, one thing that really scared me during this game, minus the whole turnovers BS. Even when it was close and we were making really good shots and we're showing that we can play and not be so reckless. Grizzlies always had an answer for us. They'd fucking make some killer 3-point shot like it was in their sleep or something. You know, we constantly had to work in this game. But the Ty Turner, though, obviously when Wiggins got that steal and he dunked, but more so after that when Draymond drove in and he threw it out to Curry and Curry nailed it and they were up by 6 and then Curry was just like getting all pumped up with the crowd and all that. You can sense and feel that momentum change, that momentum swift. Right there, so that was a great feeling, man. That's that Warrior that we know from the Steph Curry, Clay, Dre Warrior playoff era. We know when we see certain shifts in momentum and the way it can just change, and you feel that Warrior magic, that intensity, man. So, man, I feel good going forward. I really do.
The play I really liked was, I think it was Steph driving to the left, goes down to Looney. It looks like Looney's gonna put up like a 5 or 8 footer and a nice little bounce pass to Draymond for the wide open dunk. Ball movement.
That was beautiful.
That was really nice. That was really nice.
That
was beautiful.
Where has this been the last few games?
Exactly.
Right?
Remember on our initial playoff runs how we always do that stuff with Draymond? He was never a great scorer, but he'd always find a way to get easy buckets because the ball flow. And there was some play, I don't remember what maybe it was in the third quarter or fourth quarter, but excellent ball movement on this play between Draymond and Wiggins. And next thing you know, Looney, Draymond throws it out to Looney for an easy dunk. And I was trying to find it on the highlight reel when I was watching. Maybe they didn't throw it in there, but that was a really, really nice play. And I love seeing that.
Hot potato.
What was that?
Or something too hot. Someone needs to throw it up. I mean, just boom, 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 boom. And that's where the Warriors are just straight up deadly. It's the turnovers. It's just the stupid passes. They lead a player a few feet too far. It's sloppy. Can't do that against Phoenix. Phoenix is going to chew you up every single time.
Agreed.
I got a question. So, do you guys think Steve Kerr's missed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely thought so the last game.
This season is over. We're going to say good riddance to Mike Brown. Good luck in Sacramento.
Okay, but half of that, do you guys really think that was all Mike Brown? I mean,
no.
I mean, you have to count the players accountable too, right? I mean, even
the struggles, like in game 4,
the turnovers for
that's all mental. I think that's
right.
Mental. I don't think that has anything to do with the coach.
I mean, you think about it. Most of those points Memphis got last game was because of the turnovers.
This game too.
Yeah. Exactly.
Memphis was in that game at halftime because of the 12 turnovers.
Yep.
Period.
Exactly.
The Warriors had plenty of wide open shots. They missed and all this, but the Warriors were playing so much better than Memphis early on. You could see it.
Yeah, they were actually making shots too. On top of that,
at halftime, I said, "Listen, they cut these turnovers down. Memphis Memphis is going home because." This is the reason why Memphis was in the game. It was 53-51 or something at halftime. That fourth quarter, I could go back and watch that fourth quarter over and over and over again. I mean, that was what I've missed for the last few years. I'm telling you, it was beautiful.
Yep.
And they're deep. And they're deep. We didn't even see the youngins. We didn't see Kuminga or Moody. I know Bashar was mentioning that earlier. So where's Kuminga?
I know.
I'm always tweeting about Kuminga. And I'd like to see Moody. That would be cool. But when's Otto Porter coming back? Do you guys know about that?
Well, with a couple days off, I guarantee he'll probably be back maybe by game 1, game 2.
Wednesday will be game 1, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll be back then.
Yeah,
he'll be back tonight. So
hey, so. Also, so John Dickinson from 95.7 The Game said Mike Brown said Warriors changed their pick and roll coverage going into tonight, and after making the change, Andrew Wiggins went to Coach Brown and asked if he could pick up Tyus Jones full court. Brown said, "You want to do that for 48 minutes?" Wiggins replied, "I'm locked in."
There you go, and you're on locked in right now. So
it's my all-star.
Yeah, and you're on locked in, baby.
Locked in, I'm locked in.
Should have Andrew Wiggins on.
Locked in and locked out.
Hey, where's
Yep.
this Klay Thompson IG story that we didn't see? Were you able to pull it up?
It's just pictures. I looked at it. It's just
It's
pictures.
just
Oh, he said just picture. I thought it was supposed to be fire. Who was that? This Joey guy. What are you trying to do to us, Joey? Already done?
Michael Jackson on, and then he put something else on.
Joey's hilarious.
Oh, you know in real life? Or?
Yeah, he's part of the
Okay.
Hive.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know why I didn't remember his name. Hang on, let me research who this guy is. I'll probably be like, I know who that is.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's Mike.
Okay.
You got Floyd. Mike Tyson.
That's
Tyson.
That's
The guy who punched out the dude on the airplane.
Mike Jordan. And Game 6 Clay.
I love it. I saw somebody sported that headband all year.
Look at this one.
Face.
Oh wow, that's
big
I
face.
thought he was, wow, that's bad.
Yep.
That'll be a great meme for years to come.
Oh yeah,
Great.
that might replace the Jordan crying face.
You should. It's certainly more current.
We got Draymond
Wow.
Draymond Jr. Was with Dre in the post game.
The whole Steph and Riley Curry thing
Yep.
all over again.
Yeah. Any idea from if Kerr's coming back anytime soon? I mean,
Yeah, it's COVID. That's a test.
Yeah, it was just COVID.
Two tests, 24 hours apart, negative. He'll be back.
Okay.
That's all it is. He'll be back for game 1.
Cool. Well, at least it wasn't his stupid back issue that he had where he was out forever.
Ugh.
That was.
Yeah. So
Didn't seem to miss him. They were running. That was.
I know Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
Luke Walton.
Because it was really
And
Luke Walton.
He piled up all these wins, and but Kurt,
still
Kurt,
Steph.
all those wins still went to
Cover
Kerr's
those.
record. By the way, even though Walton coached those games, they went to Kerr.
Yep, he's the head coach. He gets credit for the win.
let's go
He
back
wins
to
games.
let's go back to John Morant's tweet back in 2015 where he said Warriors in 6.
2015, huh?
They aged really well.
Oh wow, I sure did. Yeah.
He's flying
He's right.
crossing.
I aged beautifully. He was prophetic with that tweet.
All right. As he was calling Grizz in 7. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. Remember they had that whoop that trick dance that Draymond started doing it.
They should have played that after the game. I don't know why they didn't play that.
Whoop that trick.
They should have.
Whoop that trick. Here we go, right here.
Maybe they played it during the timeouts or something.
Ready? The Chase Center was the crowd was actually saying it after the game was over.
They sounded loud during the broadcast, by the way. I haven't been at the games, but for people, a lot of people just don't like the fact that there's new arenas or new stadiums, and I'm happy that the Warrior fans. Oh, there he is. There's a dance. We still don't hear audio if you have audio playing from your side, by the way.
Oh no.
Okay.
I don't
know why I was
for some reason, dude. Our last show got a copyright for no reason. I didn't have no sound on.
It did have the one I was on with you.
Mm-hmm.
One of those shows that we did had a copyright because you shared some video. I forgot what
it's the video.
Yeah,
it wasn't because of the music.
You shared a video of that some NBA highlight or whatever, and
man, YouTube needs to freaking chill.
The YouTube really they're hammering down big time. Their rules were way more softer back in the day, man.
Yeah.
It's weird.
So Kevon Looney said he was tired but didn't realize he played the entire fourth quarter until the whistle because of the crowd's energy and how much fun he was having. Mike Brown says he was yelling to Looney, "Just hold on." Loon grabbed several crucial late game boards.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's amazing what adrenaline can do.
Right?
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't realize that he was only 19 when we got Looney.
Oh yeah, 1 year at UCLA.
Yeah, I remember he had 1 year at UCLA. I just thought he was a bit older. So he's only 26. So he's sort of
crazy.
Not that he's like this really, really good center or anything like that, but he's coming into his own a bit. He's pretty solid right now, I'd say. But I still want my boy Wiseman back though. I've been waiting for Wiseman for how long?
Wiseman back with Kuminga and Looney or Moody coming into the
young core has so much potential, man.
Another draft pick.
And GP2, don't forget GP2 in the mix.
GP2 and Jordan Poole, sure.
Yep. Splash party right now.
Hey, so Draymond Green, I guess, was firing back at Kendrick Perkins'
Oh, Kendrick Perkins.
sound bites.
Oh.
Let me see. Can you guys hear this?
Try it.
No.
I hear nothing, bro.
No.
How much of that was the
I hear
response from the jump? How important
Copyright.
for you to bring that energy from the jump? How much of that was the response to Game 5 and not wanting a Game 7?
I didn't want to get back on the plane. That was one underrated thing in this series. It's a 4.5-hour flight, which was brutal. So I just didn't want to get back on the plane. And, you know, it was less about playing in Memphis and more about getting on the 4.5-hour flight. Like, I just didn't want to get on. And then, you know, something came to my phone earlier. A guy saying I'm scared to shoot the basketball. Like, that's scared and me in the same sentence is like.
You see, little man said, "No, you're not."
You got a big ogre on TV talking about what Draymond
I
said.
see him.
The gospel is the gospel. What I say is the gospel. You know, when you say that multiple times, like on several different segments, you must think what I say the gospel. So, you know, you gotta come out and shut some guys up sometimes. And you know, I like to show, you know, when you got people out there just talking out the side of their neck, you know, or anybody can make the pass Draymond make, like, that's just stupid. I mean, these are people who get employed to talk on TV about our game. And, you know, it's, anybody can make that pass. You make that pass. We would love to see it. I played against the guy, by the way. I'm talking about Kendrick Perkins, for those of y'all that don't know. No smoke, as the Memphis Grizzlies towels say, I don't duck smoke. Anybody can make their pass, like you couldn't. So, good luck.
Hey, Brent, I sent you something on your Twitter DM. If it's from Twitter, if you want to share it in here, I like it.
Is a goof.
Perkins always hates on the Warriors, man.
Yep.
When we drafted Kuminga, he's like, "Oh, well, I'm gonna slow down with this one. This draft pick is gonna be like Jordan Bell." It's like, dude, he's already better than Jordan Bell from the jump. Like, what are you talking about?
Whoop that trick.
Make it full
Whoop
screen.
that trick. Whoop that trick. Hey.
Oh, you can't. Okay, that's cool. You got it. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a GIF. It didn't have audio.
Let's see. Andrew was special. He made some huge threes, huge buckets, double. We couldn't be where we are at without Andrew. Klay Thompson says that about Wiggins.
Yeah, he had a really good game, man. He was doing some nice. There were times where he was shooting. I was like, he's not making this. Oh, he made it. Damn. All right. So shout out to Wiggins, man. He as Corey likes to say, he was gritty. He showed that grit.
Yep.
Hey, Corey,
This-
Bashar, would you keep the same lineup in the next series that we saw today?
I was going to mention that earlier. It's going to depend.
Yeah.
If it's Dallas, no, I go small.
You go
I go as small as possible. If you really go against, oh yes,
Okay.
because I think you're going to be able to run them right out of the gym. They're not going to be able to handle the speed.
Who's your center?
Draymond.
Okay, but then who's going to be the power forward? Wiggins.
Yep.
And then splash party, pool party.
I think so.
Party at three. Okay. Have all three of them starting? Hey, I can't complain with that.
Starting Pool to me is better than bench Pool.
I was telling people that too. Remember when Poole was starting? I was like, I think he might be a better starter than a six-man.
I like Poole to solidify. It's almost like when during the 5-year run, you had a guy like Livingston who was always coming off the bench. And a guy like Iguodala back before the injuries started piling up. You need solidification on the second unit there. Now, playoff basketball is a little bit different because you're playing a much smaller roster. You know, your roster is shrinking. I would, if you're playing Phoenix, I would go small. I would put Jordan Poole in there at the 2 with Steph at the 1, Klay at the 3, Wiggins at the 4, and Draymond at the 5, and kind of see where it goes. You will see Looney, I think, in that series for sure. But I'd go small and just try to run him.
And another thing, too, is watching the past couple games with Phoenix and Dallas, Chris Paul hasn't been doing that well either the past couple games.
He's a flopper.
Yeah, so that's another thing to watch out for. So
the mess that he had today, he just kept trying to flop, trying to find things, coming out limp.
yeah, I mean, look at the other night he fouled out with 4 points. He had more fouls than he did points. So
Chris
I mean,
Paul always choking come postseason. I mean, that's just
that's why I'd like to play Phoenix. I want to get
Me
them
too.
so bad.
Luca is going to be the face of that franchise here going forward.
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. One more thing before we start wrapping things up. What do you guys think about that Dylan Brooks push to Steph Curry?
Bush League, completely unnecessary.
Yep.
He deserved every bit of that flagrant one, and realizing that if he picks up another flagrant, he wouldn't have been there for Game 7 if there wasn't.
Yeah. Did you think that it was a flagrant 2 at all, or no?
No.
Flagrant 1. Give Steph the 2 free throws, which of course he split.
Yeah, I can't believe it, man.
Steph's got to get that free throw thing down.
Can't trust him on the line no more.
Well, he went to the line, I think, what was it, game, I don't think it was game
80%,
maybe
right?
he went like 14 times last game of the game before. So he can get there, but he just doesn't get the calls that he should.
Yeah.
It's just unbelievable.
For a Hall of Fame player with all these rings and
First
get
Hall of Fame
doesn't get the calls.
Yeah, never gets the calls.
But no, I think the refs got that one right. I think it was easily a flagrant 1. There was no way they were going to give a flagrant 2. And then the screen, I think it was Jaren Jackson gave to Jordan Poole, common foul. They did that right also. Wasn't egregious, just a big screen. But they, depending on the player, that could be a flagrant 1. If that was Draymond, that probably would have been a flagrant 1. It just goes.
Yeah. You were talking about the screen from the previous game?
No, the screen.
There was a really in the screen in the game we got our asses kicked. There was a really bad screen that they did on Jordan Poole. I forgot who hit him, but it was almost like they set it up, but they just basically did a Trent Williams to him. I was like, oh, okay, so just gonna let that one go, huh? But hey, at the end of the day, we won and we whooped that trick.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that trick.
Whoop that trick.
We were -1 in the third quarter. We were up 2 going into halftime, only up by 1 in the third quarter. And what was it? Some plus 16, 17, fourth quarter to finish it off. I love it. Whoever's going to face us better bring their A game because we're coming. We are coming.
All right, before we go, who's your MVP for tonight?
MVP for tonight?
Yeah.
I might actually say it was Looney. As funny as that sounds, I might actually go with Looney. The amount of rebounds that guy was able to say, offensive rebound. Does anyone have the offensive rebound stat for Looney? It had to have been close to 10.
It was 12 and 12. Or no, wait, 11 and 11.
11
right,
and
11. He had 22.
To just make sure that Memphis couldn't run through and get. I can't even remember what Memphis's largest lead was. It couldn't have been more than 3 or 4. Looney was a big factor there. I would say either Looney or Clay. I mean, I think Clay had just a monster game. He just hitting shot, crazy, ridiculous, hard degree of difficulty. So again, pick one or the other, either Looney or Clay.
Yeah, Clay had 11 for 22 field goals and 3-point. It was 8 of 14.
I think the majority will probably say Clay, but you can't diminish what Looney was.
Looney, it's definitely a 1A and 1B in my opinion.
Too.
Looney's the 1A because he's been gone 2 years and all the nostalgia, but Looney stepping up on the defensive end and helping us out big time. So it's a 1A and 1B.
Big defensive stops from Looney tonight too. He was crashing those boards.
Oh yeah,
unbelievable! Because going into the series, the one thing Memphis led the league in offensive rebounding, and they get out rebounded 5 of the 6 games. It's completely unacceptable. If you're Taylor Jenkins, you're pissed. Flat out.
I hate that coach.
We're the offensive rebounding masters. How are we getting out rebounded 5 out of the 6 games to a small team? It's like their biggest player. No Wiseman. Come on. I mean,
Jaren Jackson's too busy standing at the 3-point line. There's 6'11" guys.
If I'm a Memphis fan, I'm disappointed in Jaren Jackson because he's proven that he can take over games. You know, with Ja maybe not shooting the ball well, he took over that game. Was it game 2?
I know, you couldn't miss.
It was crazy.
He had like 33 on us or something.
Essentially what Dylan Brooks did today. And I'll tell you something else. Dylan Brooks might have the ugliest shot in the association.
Dude, when we gave Dylan
such a weird
when we gave him his career high today, I was like, I was worried. It's like this takes me back to the Warriors of like the early 1990s where they'd give these no-name whack players career highs and we lose. You know, it was killing me.
There's always a player like that.
Yeah, but before we end it, y'all, if y'all are still in here watching, go over to our Twitter page, GSW_podcast. Our Instagram page is spelled out, Locked In GSW Podcast. If you haven't followed those yet already, we also have a Twitch, twitch.tv/Locked In GSW Podcast. And if y'all are on YouTube still, hit that like and subscribe button for all your Warrior news. And we are also on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify for all your podcast needs. Locked In GSW Podcast. Any last thoughts before we head out, guys?
Whoop that trick.
Corey?
Yep.
Yeah, Warriors fans, just strap in because this is going to be one hell of a ride.
It's going to be a good series next one.
8 games away from our, I lost track. Fourth championship since 2014, 2015. We're trying to get that mojo back. We're building for the future. Hopefully, going forward, we can get Wiseman back and he can really show what he's capable of doing because there's a reason why the Warriors have not traded or, gotten rid of him because they know what this guy is capable of doing. So Warriors fans, strap in and hold on because it's going to be a roller coaster you're not going to want to miss.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes.
And also, like Joey said, follow our TikTok page as well, Locked In GSW Podcast. Jordan, last word.
It's going to be a fun next series. Hopefully we get to the championship.
Yes, sir.
Win it.
Without being said, Dub Nation, go Warriors.
Go Warriors.
Warriors.
Whoop that trick.